Have you ever felt trapped by a constant demand to wear a smile, even when your heart aches? Life can feel heavy when every day comes with the pressure to act cheerful, as if sadness is not allowed. Today, we face a truth that many ignore. It is okay to feel hurt and overwhelmed. This speech speaks to those moments when the weight of expectations crushes your spirit. Here you will find a call to step away from the mask of false joy and see your true self. Life is messy, filled with ups and downs that no one can escape. Instead of forcing a laugh, take a moment to feel your pain and understand that it is part of being alive. By acknowledging the hard times, you begin a path toward real change. In the words you will hear, there is a challenge to stop hiding behind a smile that isn't real, and to embrace every emotion with courage. Let this be the start of a journey where you allow yourself to be honest, to feel deeply, and to live fully. There is a constant push in our society to wear a smile. From childhood, we are told that happiness is the only state worth showing and that any hint of sadness is a personal flaw. Every day, social media and daily conversations echo the command, just be happy. But how do you smile when you're bleeding on the inside, when your spirit is weighed down by grief, anger, or doubt? Being told to just be happy invalidates the truth of your feelings. It forces you into a role where your pain is hidden behind a rehearsed grin. Pretending to be okay is like wearing a mask made of glass. It cracks under pressure. Each forced smile becomes another brick in a wall that separates you from your true self. You start believing that if you show any sign of hurt, you are failing at life. Yet deep down, you know that hiding your true emotions only makes the burden heavier. Remember, you're not broken because you feel pain, you're human. By exposing the false promise of endless joy, we see how dangerous it can be to ignore our real feelings. Instead of silencing your inner voice, learn to listen to it. Allow yourself the space to feel and heal without shame or judgment. When we stop performing for others, we begin to live for ourselves and find strength in our honest emotions. For years, many of us have hidden our true feelings behind smiles that deceive the world. We pretend that everything is fine, even as our hearts cry out in silence. The weight of hiding your sorrow is heavy and builds slowly, turning small hurts into deep scars. When you bury pain, it doesn't die. It grows roots. Over time, this buried hurt turns into anxiety, numbness, and a quiet despair that can choke the light from your days. Fake smiles might fool the world, but they never heal the soul. Every day spent hiding behind a mask chips away at the chance to feel real relief and growth. What happens when your silence becomes louder than your scream? The pain festers, isolating you from those who might help if you just let them see the truth. It is time to stop forcing a smile and to let your true feelings surface. The cost of bottling up your sorrow is too high, a heavy burden that drains your energy and hope. Embrace your pain and speak your truth. Only by facing what lies beneath can you begin to clear the space for honest healing and a life lived without pretenses. Too often, we confuse happiness with a performance meant to dazzle the eyes of the world. In a culture that prizes constant celebration, real happiness has been buried under the glare of superficial smiles and momentary thrills. But deep down, true happiness is not a show. It is a quiet practice built in the dark, away from the spotlight. Real happiness isn't fireworks. It's a steady flame in the storm. That quiet flame does not demand applause or attention. It burns slowly and persistently, a small but resilient light that warms your soul even in the coldest nights. You don't owe the world a smile. You owe yourself the truth. When you allow yourself to be authentic, to feel every emotion as it comes, you begin to build a foundation that cannot be shaken by external expectations. In the stillness of your personal moments, away from the noise of the crowd, you start to see that happiness is not about constant joy or fleeting laughter. It is about accepting the full spectrum of your feelings and choosing to nurture the spark within. When you practice being real, acknowledging both your pain and your pleasure, you find a balance that is far more rewarding than any forced display of cheer. Consider the quiet moments of a rainy afternoon when the world outside is gloomy, yet a small light of hope burns within you. Imagine sitting by a window, watching the rain as it cleanses the air, and realizing that your inner flame is strong enough to overcome the storm. But if your joy was never meant to be loud, but lasting, true happiness resides in those silent spaces where you dare to be vulnerable and honest with yourself. It is in those moments of solitude that you can rebuild and recharge, creating a steady inner glow that no external force can dim. Every step you take toward embracing your inner truth, no matter how small, is a step toward reclaiming the joy that that is rightfully yours. When you turn away from the pressure of performing, you open up a path to a deeper, more resilient kind of happiness. It is not the loud, fleeting bursts of celebration that sustain you, but the gentle, persistent care you show yourself in the quiet hours. Your journey toward real joy begins when you choose authenticity over pretense, laying the groundwork for a life defined by inner strength and lasting peace. Remember, every moment you honor your true self is a victory against a culture that demands only surface cheer. Nurture that quiet flame and let it guide you forward. Too many of us have come to rely on the approval of others to feel even a flicker of joy. We search for validation in places where it can vanish as quickly as it appears. It is easy to fall into the trap of letting external events, the words of friends, or the fleeting trends of social media determine our mood, but this reliance is a false promise. When your peace depends on people, how will you ever own your power? The truth is, you have been renting happiness from others. Now it's time to buy it back. True joy comes from within, not from the applause or recognition of the outside world. Imagine spending every day waiting for someone to say the right words, for an event to lift your spirits, or for a compliment to make you feel worthy. That is a dangerous game because external validation is unstable, unpredictable, and beyond your control. The more you depend on it, the more you give away your freedom. When you start to realize that you are the only one who can nurture your inner light, you open a door to a life where you set your own standards for happiness. This is not about rejecting the kindness of others, but about reclaiming the core of who you are. You owe it to yourself to live a life where your joy is self-determined. Consider the countless hours wasted on trying to impress, on mimicking what others deem acceptable, on chasing after a smile that isn't yours. Every moment spent in this cycle of approval is a moment lost in building something real. Stop waiting for peace to find you. Create it. It is time to stand up and take back the reins of your emotional life. Acknowledge that external happiness is like a borrowed tool that can break under pressure. Instead, invest in your inner self. Learn to find contentment in small moments of solitude, in quiet reflection, and in honest self-affirmation. Today, challenge yourself to break free from the chains of external expectations. Celebrate your small victories and acknowledge your efforts, even when unseen. Embrace the power of knowing your strength does not rely on fleeting words. Each time you choose to trust your own worth, you build a stable joy. Reject the notion that happiness is earned through others. Stand firm in your value and let your inner light shine on its own terms. Build your peace from within and watch as it transforms your life. Trust your inner strength. Every day we face an internal landscape shaped by the choices we make about our emotions. Imagine your mindset is like a thermostat. It controls the entire environment of your life. Just as a thermostat adjusts the temperature in your home, your inner thoughts and feelings set the mood for everything you experience. When you are aware of this power, you realize that you are not merely a passenger in your own life. You are the one holding the dial. You choose, you decide, you set the tone. It is easy to let the events of the day, the actions of others, and unexpected challenges influence your inner climate. But remember, the control lies with you. When you adjust your internal settings, you can transform a cold, indifferent day into one filled with warmth and light. This metaphor is a reminder that your emotional state is not fixed. It is adjustable and responsive to the care you give it. Your reactions, your thoughts, and your feelings are all parts of a system you can manage. Consider a day when everything seems to go wrong, a missed bus, harsh words, a heavy heart. In such moments, your internal thermostat might drop the temperature, leaving you feeling isolated and frozen. But if you learn to adjust the settings, you can bring back the warmth. Instead of letting negativity dominate, you can choose to focus on the small sparks of hope and gratitude that exist, even in hardship. Why let someone else's chaos turn down the heat on your joy? It is within your power to rise above and maintain your inner warmth. Take a moment to reflect on the times when you felt truly in control of your emotions. What was different then? Perhaps you allowed yourself to pause, breathe, and recalibrate your feelings. That simple act of adjustment can make all the difference. As you continue on your journey, remember that the thermostat of your mind is yours to command. Your feelings are tools, not shackles. Embrace the responsibility of tuning your emotional environment and watch how your world transforms. Every challenge you face is an opportunity to reset and redefine your inner temperature. Learn to appreciate the power of small adjustments, knowing that each one brings you closer to a balanced, fulfilling life. In the end, it is your choice, your decision, your tone. Harness the power of your internal thermostat and let your inner light shine through every day. Remember, you hold the key to create a climate of lasting peace within. Every day the world bombards you with noise, criticism, and demands that try to drain your energy. In the midst of this chaos, your joy is under constant attack, but you have the strength to defend it. It starts with a decision to take control of your inner world. You set the tone. Don't absorb the turmoil around you. This is not about isolating yourself. It is about building a fortress within that keeps your spirit safe. When you allow the world's negativity to seep into your heart, you lose sight of the quiet, steady power that lies within you. Joy is not a gift. It's a defense system, a shield that you cultivate through care, boundaries, and self-respect. Every time you affirm your worth and stand firm against external pressures, you reinforce that shield. You learn to say no to what does not serve you and yes to what fuels your inner light. It is a practice that demands both vigilance and kindness toward yourself. Consider the moments when you felt overwhelmed by the demands of work, relationships, or society's expectations. In those moments, ask yourself, what if your real power is not reacting but regulating? Instead of giving in to the chaos, choose to filter out the noise. Set clear boundaries with those who drain you and create space for activities that rejuvenate your spirit. Building this inner armor is not an overnight process. It takes time, persistence, and a willingness to stand up for your well-being. You must learn to recognize the early signs of emotional fatigue and act swiftly to protect your peace. With every act of self-care, you are sending a message that you deserve respect and the right to live without being drained. As you move forward, remember that maintaining your joy is an active, ongoing process. Guard it fiercely, nurture it with intention, and never let it slip away unnoticed. Your inner strength is a powerful tool. Use it to create a sanctuary where your happiness can thrive despite the noise around you. Stand firm and protect your inner space. Every decision you make to shield your peace builds a stronger foundation for your future. Remember, your joy is your power. When you take control, you transform not just your day, but your entire life. Embrace each moment with determination and let your inner fortress be a beacon of hope for your soul. Protect it always. Many people believe that happiness appears like a sudden miracle, a spontaneous burst of joy that comes without warning. But the truth is, happiness isn't random. It's repeated. It is the result of daily habits, small decisions made consistently over time that create a stable foundation for your well-being. When your mornings are chaotic, your mindset follows. In contrast, a well-crafted morning routine sets the tone for a day filled with purpose and calm. You begin to understand that joy doesn't drop from the sky. It's built brick by brick with your habits. Each morning offers a fresh start, a chance to redefine your emotional landscape. Instead of waiting for happiness to magically appear, take control and design a ritual that nurtures your spirit. Whether it is spending a few quiet moments in reflection, jotting down thoughts of gratitude, or simply taking a mindful breath, these small practices accumulate to form a powerful shield against daily stress. Stop waiting to feel better, start building better. Every tiny habit you develop reinforces a positive cycle that makes it easier to face life's challenges with resilience. Think about the routines that have shaped your days. The simple act of making your bed, having a moment of silence, or preparing a healthy breakfast can set a ripple effect in motion. Over time, these habits form a framework that supports a calm and focused mind. They remind you that while you cannot control every event, you can control how you begin each day. This repeated process transforms ordinary days into opportunities for growth and joy. Developing consistent joy habits is not about forcing a smile or pretending that everything is perfect. It is about creating a small space of order and calm in a world that often feels chaotic. With each deliberate action, you train your mind to recognize and embrace positivity, turning daily routines into powerful acts of self-care. Let each morning be a declaration of your commitment to a better, more centered life. In doing so, you gradually build a reservoir of strength and happiness that carries you through even the toughest days. Remember, the process is gradual. Change happens not in a single moment, but through continuous, repeated actions. Embrace the discipline of consistency, and you will find that the simple act of starting your day right can lead to profound, lasting joy. Let your habits be the bricks that build the foundation of your happiness, and each day become a step toward a life filled with purpose and fulfillment. Start building better now. Mornings hold the power to set the stage for the rest of your day. When you wake up, the first moments are precious. They lay the foundation for your emotional state. Guard your mornings. Feed your soul before the world drains it. These hours are yours to command, a quiet time where you decide the tone for everything that follows. Instead of immediately succumbing to the rush of emails, news, and social media, carve out a space for intentional living. Start by creating a simple ritual that centers you. It might be a few minutes of silent meditation, a gentle stretch, or simply enjoying a cup of tea in peace. These practices are not just routines, they are acts of self-care that reinforce your worth. They serve as a reminder that your inner well-being matters more than the distractions of a busy world. What are you feeding your spirit first thing in the morning, hope or noise? Choose to feed it with calm, positivity, and purpose. Consider the benefits of starting your day with gratitude. Taking time to acknowledge even the smallest blessings can shift your mindset from one of scarcity to one of abundance. This shift is not instantaneous, but with daily practice, it becomes a powerful tool that redefines your interactions with the world. Your routine is your emotional armor. It either protects or exposes you. By building a morning ritual that nurtures your mind and body, you equip yourself with the strength to face whatever comes your way. Think about the moments when you felt truly energized and ready to take on the day. Those moments were not accidents. They were the result of deliberate choices made in the quiet hours of the morning. Every new day presents an opportunity to renew your spirit and set a clear, positive direction for your day. As you continue to refine your morning habits, notice how they influence your overall mood and productivity. Each day you invest in yourself, you build a reservoir of calm that carries you through challenges. Let your morning ritual be a daily promise to honor yourself, to prioritize your peace, and to set a tone that resonates with purpose. Remember, the way you start your day shapes not only your mindset, but also the quality of your entire life. Embrace these morning rituals as sacred moments of self-renewal. Each sunrise offers a fresh chance to build your inner strength. Let the quiet power of the morning guide you to a day filled with intention, hope, and genuine peace. Seize every morning and transform your life with purpose right now. Every morning you have a choice to start anew. Each small act of care builds a quiet strength within you. It is not about grand gestures or fleeting moments of cheer. Instead, it is the daily habit of taking care of yourself that creates a lasting sense of peace. Every time you repeat your ritual, you are reinforcing your power. This simple truth reminds you that strength grows not in bursts, but in steady, repeated effort. Think of discipline as the daily thread that weaves your peace into something permanent. Each act of self-care, every moment spent in quiet reflection, is a stitch in a fabric that shelters you during life's storms. Over days, weeks, and months, these small acts combine to form a shield against the hardships you face. At first, the change may seem small, but soon you will notice a deep-rooted calm and a strength that supports you even on the darkest days. Consider the impact of a modest ritual. A quiet cup of tea at sunrise, a brief walk under the open sky, or a few deep breaths before starting your tasks. These simple moments become sacred when repeated daily. They remind you that true joy is not something that happens by chance. It is something you build with care and intention. Isn't it time your joy stopped depending on chance? Instead, take hold of your day by creating habits that feed your spirit and steady your mind. With each repetition, you are not merely going through the motions. You are actively shaping a life filled with calm and quiet power. Over time, you learn that these routines offer a deep strength that no sudden windfall can provide. It is a slow, steady journey that asks you to trust in the small steps you take every day. As you honor your daily practices, you claim ownership of your inner peace and build a foundation that holds firm even when life is hard. Embrace the power of repetition and let each day remind you of your inner strength. Even when the world seems uncertain, your quiet rituals stand as a beacon of hope. They are a promise to yourself that you will continue to grow, to learn, and to live with a steady heart. In the gentle practice of repeated care, you find a peace that no fleeting moment can offer, a resilience that lasts far beyond the day's challenges. There is a common myth that happiness only comes when life is free of pain. Many believe that if you are not hurting, you must be happy. But that idea is false. Real joy does not wait for a life without struggle. Joy is not the absence of struggle. It's the presence of spirit. Even in the midst of pain, your inner light can shine. When you face life's storms, true joy stands firm, offering guidance and hope. Imagine life as a vast ocean with waves of hardship crashing around you. In these moments, the idea that joy should wait until the storm has passed is a trap. What if your pain is not your punishment, but your preparation? Each trial you endure shapes you, builds an inner strength, and readies you for a brighter day. Accepting that pain is part of life opens you to the possibility of finding hope even in dark times. Happiness is like a lighthouse. You don't move it when storms come. You use it to stay grounded. In the chaos of everyday struggles, let this light guide you. It reminds you that joy can exist alongside pain and that the hardships you face do not have to steal your hope. Instead, they become markers on a path that leads to a deeper, more steady spirit. When you choose to stand in the midst of difficulty, you refuse to let pain define you. Each storm is a stepping stone, offering lessons that build your inner fire. Embrace the struggle as a natural part of life. In every moment of hardship, there is an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to find that unwavering spirit. Do not wait for all the pain to vanish. Instead, seek the light in the darkness and let the storm sharpen your resolve. In a world where everything seems to be in constant motion, finding a steady source of peace can feel nearly impossible. Yet, there is a way to keep your inner calm even when chaos surrounds you. This is what Anchor Joy is all about. A deep, unshakable peace that does not rise and fall with every external event. When you run from pain, you lose the path to power. But when you face it head on, you create a strong foundation that holds you steady. You don't need everything to be okay to be okay. Life will bring challenges that shake the ground beneath you. In those moments, remember that it is not the absence of problems that defines you, but the strength you nurture inside. Anchor your joy in the small, steady practices that remind you of who you are, whether it's a quiet moment of reflection, a few mindful breaths, or a kind word to yourself. Over time, these habits form a reserve of calm that you can draw on when the day grows rough. Picture your inner peace as a tree with deep roots. No matter how fierce the wind blows, the tree stands firm because its roots run deep. In the same way, building your life on small daily acts of care creates resilience that keeps you grounded even in the hardest times. Dig your joy deeper than your pain and let every act of self-kindness serve as proof that your strength is always within reach. When challenges arise, pause to reconnect with the small victories, a gentle reminder of the calm that lies within. These moments, though simple, build a steady inner light that no external storm can dim. Every time you choose to ground yourself in these practices, you reinforce a peace that endures, guiding you through the trials of each day. Pain can feel like a heavy burden, yet it holds a hidden gift. In our darkest moments, there lies the seed of strength and insight. Instead of asking, "Why me?" consider, "What is this growing in me?" Each hardship offers a chance to discover new parts of yourself. Pain isn't the enemy, it's the fire that forges something new. It refines you, gently urging you to rise stronger and see with clearer eyes. When sorrow weighs on your heart, step back and listen to that inner call. The discomfort you feel may mark the beginning of a deeper understanding of your own needs and dreams. What if your hardest moment is where your power begins? In that space, you can choose to see struggle not as a barrier, but as a bridge to a life filled with purpose. Every tear, every moment of heartache can open the door to a clearer sense of who you are. The joy that rises from pain is the kind that never breaks. It stays with you long after the storm has passed. Allow yourself to feel, to learn, and to grow. Embrace each lesson hidden within your suffering as a stepping stone toward a life that carries meaning and quiet strength. In this journey, the hurt you experience becomes a guide, leading you to discover a deeper purpose and a light that endures. Every day, without clear boundaries, our joy is under attack. When we let every person and situation take their toll on our spirit, we open the door to endless draining of our emotional energy. In a world that constantly demands our attention, our feelings are often tossed aside, leaving us vulnerable and depleted. Without rules, there is no protection. Our inner peace is exposed to criticism, negativity, and the relentless need for external validation. Not everyone deserves access to your spirit. When you allow every intrusion into your personal space, you give away something precious. Your joy is your currency. Stop letting emotional pickpockets steal it. Why are you letting people who drain you decide your mood? It isn't the job of others to fill your cup. That responsibility lies with you. When you fail to set boundaries, you invite chaos into your life. Toxic relationships, unhealthy habits, and the barrage of media and societal expectations can erode the joy you work so hard to cultivate. Establishing boundaries is not an act of selfishness, but one of self-respect and survival. It means choosing to say no when something feels wrong and protecting the sanctuary of your mind from constant intrusion. In drawing clear lines, you reclaim control over your emotional well-being and affirm that your energy is valuable. Learn to recognize when an interaction demands more than you're willing to give and stand firm in your decision to protect yourself. Every time you decide to shield your inner world, you build a foundation of strength and clarity. Remember that saying no is a declaration of your self-worth. In protecting your time and space, you nurture a resilience that allows you to flourish despite the noise outside. Embrace the power of boundaries as a daily practice. With each small act of defense, you reinforce your inner fortress. Own your space, trust your instincts, and let no one rob you of the peace you deserve. Your journey toward a balanced life begins when you recognize that preserving your joy is not just a right, it's a necessity. Every time you say yes to others, make sure you're not saying no to yourself. Too often, we fall into the trap of people-pleasing, giving so much of our energy away that we forget to care for our own needs. Protect your peace, protect your time, protect your joy. When you over-explain your choices or bend to please everyone, you compromise your own well-being. It's time to break free from the habit of sacrificing yourself for the sake of others. The reality is simple. If you constantly offer your energy without replenishing it, you'll soon find yourself empty. Stop explaining yourself. Your peace isn't negotiable. Stand up and speak out when demands become too heavy. Learn to say no gracefully, knowing that every no is a yes to yourself. Recognize the energy drain that comes with trying to meet everyone's expectations. Instead, choose to invest in relationships and activities that uplift you. Reclaim your power by setting limits that honor your feelings. Let go of the need to constantly appease and focus instead on nurturing your own spirit. By doing so, you not only conserve your energy, but also create space for true, fulfilling connections. Every boundary you set is a step toward a life where your needs matter as much as those of others. Guard your inner light fiercely, and let your actions reflect the truth that your well-being is paramount. In today's digital age, the constant noise of social media, news feeds, and online chatter can overwhelm your mind and steal your joy. Your mind is a garden. Don't let weeds from the internet overrun it. Every scroll, every notification, every piece of digital content has the power to either nurture or deplete your inner peace. Curate your digital world or it will curate you. Ask yourself, what are you letting into your mind today? Peace or panic? The barrage of images, opinions, and sensational headlines can distort your sense of self and leave you feeling drained and disconnected. It's essential to take control of your online environment. Start by setting limits on screen time and being selective about the voices you allow into your digital space. Turn off unnecessary notifications and create moments of quiet away from the constant buzz. Use technology as a tool rather than a tether. When you consciously choose what to engage with, you protect your emotional energy and create a space where your mind can breathe. A digital detox isn't about abandoning technology altogether. It's about reclaiming control over your attention and curating a feed that uplifts rather than undermines you. Step back and evaluate the content you consume. Is it adding value to your life or stealing your joy? By making mindful choices, you plant seeds of calm and positivity that can flourish in the garden of your mind. Wake up and fight for your joy. Each day, happiness is not a passive state that simply arrives. It is a battle you must choose to wage. If not now, when? If not you, who? Life throws obstacles at us constantly, and the fight for happiness is a daily commitment. You are a warrior. Your weapon is your mindset, and your enemy is resignation. Every morning you have the opportunity to choose hope over despair and action over passivity. The struggles you face are not signs of weakness, but challenges to be met with courage. Rising each day, you decide to stand up against the forces that seek to steal your spirit. The decision to fight for your joy begins with a single step, acknowledging that you hold the power to shape your day. Refuse to surrender to negativity or complacency. Instead, meet each challenge with a defiant heart and a clear purpose. Your battle is not against others, but against the inner doubts and fears that whisper you're not enough. Embrace the fight as a chance to grow stronger. Every victory, no matter how small, is proof of your resilience. Stand firm, keep moving forward, and let your determination light the way. Today is the day to reclaim your happiness through perseverance and self-belief. Even when it's hard, even when it hurts, even when it doesn't make sense. You must own your rituals, own your mind, and own your joy. Victory is built from the small, consistent actions you take every day. The battle plan for winning your inner war begins with clear, actionable strategies. It starts by setting boundaries and taking back control of your time. From there, you develop daily habits that center you and reinforce your commitment to self-care. Whether it's a moment of quiet reflection, a purposeful walk, or a few deep breaths before a challenging task, these rituals serve as the foundation of your inner strength. Every action you take to nurture your well-being is a step toward emotional freedom. Even when obstacles arise, remember that each small act of self-discipline is a victory. The path may be winding, but your commitment to these practices creates a steady momentum that carries you forward. Own your daily routines and let them serve as reminders of your strength. When doubt creeps in, return to these simple actions that ground you. They are the building blocks of a resilient mind and a peaceful heart. With every deliberate choice, you fortify your inner world against the chaos outside. Victory is not the result of one grand gesture. It is the accumulation of every positive decision, repeated day after day. Embrace the struggle, trust in your process, and watch as each day brings you closer to lasting peace. Commit to your happiness as if your life depends on it, because it does. Joy isn't something you find, it's something you forge. In the journey toward emotional freedom, every challenge and every setback is an opportunity to shape a deeper, more resilient joy. What will you do with the power to control your own joy? Every moment you dedicate to nurturing your inner light brings you closer to a state of true liberation. By consistently applying the lessons of discipline, self-care, and personal responsibility, you transform not only your day, but your entire life. The path to becoming a happiness warrior is paved with the choices you make daily. Embrace the process, even when it's difficult, and let each act of self-love reinforce the foundation of your well-being. The rewards of this journey are immense: emotional freedom, unshakable inner peace, and a life lived fully on your own terms. Step into your power and let your newfound strength radiate from within. The battle for joy is ongoing, but every victory, every moment of clarity builds the legacy of a life defined by resilience and hope. Now is the time to rise, to fight, and to claim the happiness that is rightfully yours.